Welcome back to the Tail Light Podcast, where we talk about entrepreneurship, real estate, and breaking free from the W 2 mindset so you could build a life that was made for you. I'm your host, Steve Unruh. I'm a U.S. Army vet. I'm retired from the state police, and I'm your boots on the ground to building wealth the American way. Today's episode is all about courage and vision and the kind of leadership that ignores all the noise and makes bold moves. My client is an everyday American, made an extraordinary real estate move recently. So this client of mine, he started his life out, going to college. He became a high school teacher, then, retired and still wanted to move on with his life. And he's organized and disciplined, and he knew what he wanted to do. So he gets involved in insurance, and he works from home, cold calling people. And he worked for a different franchise he does now, but he wanted to get moving, and to begin this franchise, he had to uplift himself and move to a completely different area where he didn't really know anybody, but he kept working hard at it, calling people and everything else. And next thing you know, he grew a client list. Next thing you know, he's growing his business, growing people. Next thing you know, he has a rental space, and it's not slowing down, but he keeps moving ahead. And so now this is where the story gets a little interesting as far as I'm concerned. He's renting down a commercial space in a very obscure downtown area. People don't really know where he's at. And as of recently, commercial property has been about downsize and don't buy into it. And you have a chorus of people always telling you with the fear mongers, don't expand, don't do this, don't make those bold moves. But entrepreneurs think things just a little bit differently. They think of things like, how do I make that bold move? What do I need to do to get to the next level? They don't pay attention to that. He wasn't one of them. So he contacted me and said, well, what do we need to do? And we start talking about making that bold move, and he does. So he takes his business where he goes to, and from this little obscure spot in downtown, a good downtown area in northeast of Oakland County, but he starts saying, well, where do I need to go? And he finds this property that's on a main road where another person's retiring, moving on. He goes, should I do it? And I said, of course you do. There's 36,000 cars going one way per hour in that area, and it's just not going to get slowed down, because we've already seen how the traffic count was south of us. It's perfect. And you got to look to not where people are at right now. You got to look to where people are going. You don't look for the now. You look for where things are going, where people are going to. You look at the 5 and 10-year move. So our veteran teacher turned entrepreneur turned successful businessman decides to make the bold move, and he looks at the property and he buys it. And this wasn't just anything, it was a declaration of intent. It was a declaration of, I'm intending to be here for a while. I'm intending to make the best of my life that I have what's going on. And on closing day, you can just see there's a big shift. They were going from this little smaller place with multiple employees to this much bigger, it's a big building, and it's going to have a big sign on a major road. And he wasn't willing to lock in himself into this position, say, this is the only far as I'm going to grow. He's going to see how big he can take this, because you have it. It's the American way. And he didn't look at it like, well, is it the perfect time? Well, it's never the perfect time. Never perfect time to grow or to expand or even to go into business. The time is just to do it and get involved and be driven. And this is what evidence driven looks like. We took all the factors in, given the price that we had, and said, this is where my future begins. And so to my client, I want to say thank you for trusting me to guide you through this very bold move. Your story is really an inspiration to me to keep going. And you can keep doing this. In this country, you can do anything you want as long as you keep moving forward, because stasis is death. Homeostasis, being just stagnant, is death. If you're looking to expand your business, you're looking to break out of that W-2 hamster wheel mentality where you're just staring at somebody's taillights as you're driving to work and driving from work, and you're getting tired of it, reach out to me. Let's make bold moves. Let's get you doing that mindset of trying to expand your life and live the life that you truly deserve and that you truly want. So let's set down some goals, especially for 2026. Let's get out there and start kicking a little ass, taking a few names, buying some property, or getting into that franchise you want. And so if you like what you see here, just subscribe, share, or reach out to me, and let's see what your next bold move is. Have a Merry Christmas, everyone. Hope everybody's having a great day. Of course, I'm going to be doing some great things by the end of the year. I got some bold moves myself. I'm very excited about. A little scary. I'm not going to lie to you, but that's where courage comes in. Courage is really, there's an element of fear, but you move ahead anyway, right? Anyway, hopefully everybody has a really progressive day. Think about your goals and go after them. Thank you. Bye.